If you are just joining us now, we are continuing to follow breaking news at this hour. A reported shooting near the campus of Austin East Magnet High School. We have multiple crews there at the scene, and we want to turn now to reporter Kirsty Crawford. Kirsty joining us there live from the scene. What are you seeing? What are you hearing, Kirsty?
Multiple people have been shot, including a police officer. This following a shooting at Austin East Magnet High School. Been following for you all afternoon.
Yes, we have breaking news all afternoon. KPD, the TBI, and now the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Bureau, is on the scene to help with this investigation. And this here, just into our newsroom, we are told the officer that was shot was transported to UT Medical Center. We do have crews on the scene live as we and they continue to learn more details.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're going to start off our team coverage.
Kristen there speaking to Knoxville's Mayor India Kincannon. That was at UT Medical Center. We have since seen Mayor India Kincannon at Austin East High School. We just showed you that live picture there from the scene. We saw Mayor India Kincannon. We saw Police Chief Eve Thomas. We saw Public Information Officer Scott Erland, a few other Knox County Schools officials there kind of huddled up there in front of the school. And just for some perspective, really the last time that we saw all of these officials, these leaders gathered together was when they were addressing gun violence to Austin East High School students. That happened earlier in the year. So of course now we're seeing them together after just another tragic display of gun violence here. Austin Martin, our reporter, we understand, is live at Austin East High School. He has been there since news broke this afternoon, continuing to follow the latest details. Austin, anything you can tell us now? Austin there responding about how this community is really taking this all in, because remember, this is a school community that has felt a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt in the last couple of months here since the start of 2021. Austin there bringing us an interview with Stanley Freeman Jr.'s family member. Remember that Stanley Freeman Jr. was one of the Austin East students who lost his life to gun violence earlier in the year. We heard from his family member there. Thank you for that, Austin. Austin also talking there about just the police presence and the presence there at Austin East. We have seen an immense police response there at the school, and Kirsty Crawford is also there live at the scene. Kirsty, help get us up to date. All right, Kirsty, thank you very much. Just into our newsroom now, a statement from Knoxville State Representative Sam McKenzie, who represents District 15, where Austin East is located. Also, Representative McKenzie is a graduate of the school. I want to go ahead and read his statement to you. It reads, quote, "I am at a loss to describe my sadness as yet another horrific act of gun violence has happened in my community. Austin East High School is my alma mater, and my heart goes out to the students, faculty, and staff that were present for this senseless shooting today. I do not have the necessary words to convey my thoughts about the spiraling violent acts conducted by members of my community on members of my community. I am asking everyone that knows and loves East Knoxville to pray and contemplate the lives we have lost. I am also asking that we reclaim the sanctity of our beloved neighborhood. This is the fourth unnecessary shooting involving the Austin East community this year, and we must make sure we take every step and make every effort to prevent these tragedies from continuing to occur." Again, that statement there coming from Representative Sam McKenzie. We have heard from some of our other local leaders, both in Washington, D.C., as well as in our state's capital in Nashville. We heard from Representative Jason Zachary as well, offering up his prayers for Knoxville. We heard from Congressman Tim Burchett. Bo there just read his tweet just before we heard from Kirsty, a tweet there coming from Congressman Tim Burchett, and then of course that statement there, that lengthy, powerful statement there from Representative Sam McKenzie. Bo, as I understand, you do have some video that you want to pass along to us now. Yes, we are just hearing from Senator Marsha Blackburn now, Bo. She says, quote, "I am heartbroken to hear about the shooting at Austin East Magnet High School in Knoxville. My office has been briefed on the situation, and I am praying for the community, including the officer injured in the line of duty." Again, that officer she is referring to there, that Knoxville police officer that we have been telling you about. We told you that Knoxville Mayor India Kincannon was at that officer's bedside earlier in the afternoon, just a short while ago. She was sitting there right next to him. She said that he was in good spirits, doing really as best as he could, considering the circumstances of this situation. Marsha Blackburn, the latest of our local officials that we are hearing from now, that statement that we just read coming from Senator Marsha Blackburn. We also just heard from Representative Sam McKenzie. Remember that he represents this area. This was his alma mater. So of course he had some pretty powerful statement there, powerful thoughts in response. We will continue to monitor all of the different responses, reactions that are coming in from our community members, both here locally in Knoxville, our representatives in Nashville, and really even the people that represent us in Washington, D.C. And Bo, I understand, is there a statement that you've got to pass along? That is who you think about all afternoon, are those parents, those guardians, and what you think when that tweet or that text message comes up on your phone there. And of course, your children are the people that you love the most in the entire world, so thinking about them. 3:15 is when they got the call. They rushed there to Austin East Magnet High School. I do want to point out as well that as we are talking to our crews here, and they're kind of telling us about the scene clearing up, some of the police cars emptying out, we do want to make it clear that this investigation just in the early stages, that this is really just the start of this investigation, and we will continue to learn more details throughout these press conferences.
TBI will
just checked in with Austin there. He said that he was speaking to the uncle of Stanley Freeman Jr. Of course, Stanley Freeman Jr. is one of the Austin East students who was tragically killed in an act of gun violence earlier this year. Austin got the chance to speak to his uncle earlier today. He said that he was there at the scene of this shooting today, and I do understand that we do have some of that interview to play for you. You mentioned these previous deaths that we have covered, and I have been out in the community speaking to the people who were so sadly impacted by those, and you know the hurt and the grief and the anger that they're feeling, and you just know that it is there again today.
Yeah.
And something else that Austin pointed out that I think is worth noting as well is just the immense police presence and police response that was there at the school. I mean, you look at that video and it is quite literally rows of police cars, lights flashing there, surrounded outside the school.